come from a, mother and father. I had a mother and father together, married. My mother passed away in 2001. You know what I mean? And no, 2002. I'm sorry, September 15th, 2002. My father's still with us, and strong. And I have an older sister and a younger brother. So I'm a middle child. A lot of the teachers, I getting in trouble in school. They hated me in school. That's another story I'll get into at some other time. But right now, specifically, the story is why I left America and moved to the Caribbean. And so, for to give a little bit of understanding on that, I just, give them a little backstory. And the backstory is, like I said, I was getting in trouble in school, suspended, ran away from home. I was raised, my mother, let me put it like this. My mother started studying with the Jehovah's Witnesses when I was about 6 years old. So I was old enough to see a change. She wanted to stop doing certain things, and you know what I mean, and I couldn't hang out like I wanted to, and life changed. You know what I'm saying? So in that change, I was still me. You know what I'm saying? About 6 years old, we basically got our own personality traits. So my brother, who's a little younger than me, he's about 2 years, 17 months apart. So he got a different story because he was about 4 years old when he started dealing with that. Coming in, how our life changed once my mother started, studying with him. She became baptized a Jehovah's Witness. When she returned to the essence, she was, Jehovah's Witness. And like I said, I was like other people would say I was bad, but I wasn't really bad. I just always had my own mind. I was never a follower. You know what I'm saying? Always a leader. And so anyway, make a long story short, when I was 12 years old, my big brother, like what cats today say, OG, my OG died. My next door neighbor, he was a big brother to me. He was murdered in the streets. My mother was raised in a white neighborhood. She came from Avon, New York, upstate New York. From my understanding, it's not very far from Rochester, but that far up. And she was, that was like a white town, you know what I'm saying? But she wanted to raise her kids in the black city, in the black, town. So that's how she ended up in Plainfield. And damn. So what happened was, so that's how they ended up in Plainfield. She met my father, and they married, and my father was an Army veteran. Not like he fought in the war, but he was in the Army at some point, and hard-working man, very respectful. Everybody loved my father. You know what I'm saying? He was a beautiful, beautiful man. And so coming into Plainfield, growing up in Plainfield, like I said, going through the school system, getting suspended, and all we niggas was always pointing fingers at me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just my point of view, but they probably got a point of view where it's like, yo, I just hated that nigga. He thought he was this, and he was troublemaker and all of that. But I always thought I was a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm honest, respectful. You know what I mean? And so, make a long story short, when my neighbor passed away, he got murdered. His name was Mister. Everybody called him Mister. You know what I'm saying? He was well known, well respected, well loved in our neighborhood and throughout the town. His family, his father, his mother, all love. He got, brothers and sisters. They all love. They like, royalty, at least in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And so when he passed away, and my mom's coming from a white town, she was like, she wasn't ready for this. You know what I mean? Like she knew Mister, like, in the hood, we neighbors is like family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that family, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say their last name because out of respect, I haven't even told them that I'm, you know, what I'm doing. So I don't want to, you know, bring their name in it if they don't want to be involved, you know, and they're uninformed. But we felt that pain. We felt that pain. That was like, you know, like if my, you know, my fleshly brother, something happened to my fleshly brother, that shit hurt it, you know. And so, you know, my mother was like, yo, I don't want that to happen to my son. So, you know, her being, you know, religious and everything too, like one thing about the witnesses, they are rebellious. You know what I mean? But meaning like they're fine doing something different. You know what I mean? Like they don't gotta be like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like their whole move is different. Like they don't care, you know, about making friends outside the organization and all of that. So, you know, my mother was like that. You know what I mean? So when I was in seventh grade, I was getting in trouble. Like I said, I was, you know, in middle school, junior high school, maxing. You know what I'm saying? And I forget, like January 12th, man, my seventh grade year, I ran away from home. You know what I mean? Because I didn't, like I said, I did not like being a Jehovah's Witness. I ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, because life had changed. Life was completely different from what I was used to up until 6 years old. Now we couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like, and everybody was a op, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not a witness, you know, they, you know what I mean? They're gonna give you respect, but not no like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Let's go hang out, let's eat dinner, let's travel. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the mentality and the teachers is to separate you from the world and prepare for a life that's gonna come. Like, you know, when there's no bad people in the world, basically. And so, that's where it was. You know, I didn't enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to like talk to girls. Like, yo, girls would call the crib. My mom would be like, yo, he doesn't talk to, you know what I mean, the girls on the phone. You know what I mean? She was like, yo, I couldn't go to no parties, nothing. So, you know what I mean? But like I said, I already had that. Like I was at least street smart. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some people would say I was a street kid. Some people would say I wasn't. But I was definitely street smart. And so, you know what I mean, I sneak out the crib at night, you know what I'm saying, and all of that shit. Hang out with, you know, my homeboys who going to a girl, his sister at a slumber party, and you know what I mean, that kind of thing. But by 12 years old, it just was real conflicting, you know what I'm saying? I'd be going out, knocking on niggas' doors with the watchtowers and all of that. To, hey, you know, giving this, you know, little thing that's prepared, and it just wasn't me at all. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and it was like I was an outsider in the congregation because the kids was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? My government name is Georgie. Yo, niggas was like, yo, don't, you know, like, you can't be around Georgie. Bad association. You know what I'm saying? And so it was. You know, it was like I was always outside. You know, and I'm fine with it now. You know what I mean? That's why I was able to leave America, go to another country. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? And create a life for myself and my son. I have a son here. You know what I'm saying?
P Funk City G.